Hello everyone, my name is Chris and welcome back to episode 2 of the Journeyman on FM26. Today we are catching up with how we're getting on with Busan. I'll go over everything to do with the club, so we'll have a look at how results have been, where we are in the league, how we're doing in the cups, also any transfer business. I've managed to just finish the second transfer window of the season, so this would be the equivalent of the sort of European January transfer window. So we've just finished that. We're doing pretty well in the league, to be honest. And yeah, we'll catch up on any other little bits and bobs of stuff that's been going on. Okay, so as you can see on the screen, we are now currently studying for a national A license. So what I've found so far at Busan is the board are really happy to back our progress as a manager. They've managed to put us through. This is our third coaching badge, so we're progressing really nicely on that, considering we're only less than a whole season into our time here. 3 coaching badges already approved, so we'll be, I don't know how long it says to take for the next badge, doesn't actually say, but they progressively get longer each time, so I imagine it'll take us probably 6 months or so to get the A license, but that's pretty cool to see some progress on that front. It hasn't really changed our um, attributes or words, whatever we're now calling stats for staff. We're still pretty crap, to be honest, but that's just the way it's going to be for a while till we get up to those international licenses and actually having a decent profile. We also got a new contract till the 31st of December 2027, so we've got another season with Busan with a small promotion wage rise, which may come in handy. Anything else to do with us? I won't show you our record because we'll look at the league table first. But yeah, so things are going well, really, generally. Got the badges on the go. We've got the new contract in under our belt. Okay, let's have a quick look at the league position of the club. Competitions, okay, League 2. Okay, so when we left you on the last episode, we were struggling to close the gap. We were in 3rd position last time, and we were struggling to close the gap on Anyang, who were miles out in front. And I think it was Seoul Eland that was second, and we were sort of in that pack just behind Seoul Eland. However, we've kind of gone on a really good run of results, to be honest. We'll look at the fixtures and results in a second, but this is the current standings. We're 24 games in, it's 39 games in the season, so we're 2/3 of the way through pretty much. And we have just gone top. So very just. I mean, like the last couple of game rounds, we've managed to creep ahead of Anyang. I'm pretty certain they're about 10 points ahead at one point, so that's a really nice turnaround for us. Things have clicked. The players have been doing well. We had a bit of a blip earlier in the season. We'll go over that in a second. I'll show you some of the player stats and how people are getting on. We had some pretty catastrophic injuries early in the season. One of our big signings for the summer was, I think he fractured his lower leg, so he's been out. He hasn't played a game since the last video, and he's still not back for probably another month or so. So, yeah, that's not been ideal. Probably our best rated player at the start of the season. However, in spite of that, everyone else has rallied around. We've managed to climb the table. We've overtaken Seoul and Anyang, and we are now sitting top by a point. Our goal difference is very healthy. We've not been letting in a lot of goals. 25 and 24, so averaging 1 a game ish, and 61-4, so more than 2-4 per game. So if we can keep that ratio going, we should do well till the end of the season. In terms of the cup, we've also had an amazing bit of cup run going on in the Korea Cup. So we are currently into the semi-finals against Jeonbuk, who I think are arguably one of the best teams in the whole of Korea. So it's not going to be an easy game. However, I didn't think we would probably progress to this point. We actually now let's go to the fixtures. We actually just played the quarterfinal against Seoul and won 3-0 away from home. So I really wasn't expecting that kind of. I mean, it was an amazing performance, but I wasn't entirely expecting it. So yeah, so who knows? Maybe we'll do better than we expect. But the cup game is 2 legs, and it's a fair way away currently. So we probably won't cover those. We certainly won't cover them in this video, but I'll pop back and possibly do another video just covering the 2 cup games later on. Today we're going to be catching up on everything and then playing the Anyang game, which is obviously against the team that we've spent months trying to catch and have just passed. So it's a huge game. If we can beat them and stretch that lead, it gives us a bit of breathing space going into the last bit of the season. In terms of the last games we played, I'm pretty certain it was this Yeongnam and Gimpo games that we did on the last video. So since then, we had a game against Yeongnam where we lost 1-0. I think that is the classic. We battered them and didn't win. Let's have a look at the stats. So yeah, they had 2 shots on target, less than half an XG, no possession, and managed to beat us. So we got FM'd a little bit there. Then we beat Cheonan 3-0. Choi Byung-wook, our right winger, and Choi Wee-jae, our centre back, with the goals. 3-1 in the cup, fairly standard win there. We managed to get a couple of players like Modi Sai an appearance, who's, as you know from the first video, we were only allowed 4 foreign players in our lineup, and we're only allowed to register 5 for the league squad, but in the cups we can play some of the other foreign players, so a few of those guys made appearances in the cup. We drew with Anyang, drew again with Gwangju. We were drawing quite a lot of games at this point in the season, as you see, a little cluster of them here. We were dropping points annoyingly, playing quite well, but just not getting games seen out. 2-0 win against Ansan. Lerager, who's, as you'll see shortly, has been excellent for us. Seongnam 0-0, Busan 5-2. Some pretty good results throughout the season, really. Drew again against Seoul when we had a chance to try and really peg them back when we were chasing them in second. Cup game went to extra time against Ansan, who weren't doing great in the league. I decided to rotate the whole squad, and then we really struggled. So we didn't really struggle, but we ended up going to extra time, is what I'm saying. So yeah, we brought some of the big guns on and got it over the line, kind of thing. Chongbuk Cheongju, I think, very comfortable win there. Another close one here against Asan, Chongam Asan. But as you can see, really good set of results. I won't read out every single one. Let's just have a quick look through. You can see the goal scorers and the performances. Lots of repetition of who's scoring goals for us and not. We've just had the winter, what would be the winter break in Europe, but it's obviously not winter, it's the summer break in Asia. So we've had like a month off between games, essentially, between the end of May and the start of July, so basically a month of no games. I just played a friendly against a load of trial players. I've been scouting loads of players, doing lots of business, more than I wanted to, and we're back now post transfer business. And we've done pretty well since coming back. So we beat Yeonnam 4-0 this time. Then we've had that great result in the cup against Seoul, which really, honestly, couldn't believe it. Absolutely incredible for performance. They had some chances, but generally it was quite comfortable. Quite impressed with everyone in the team. I really wasn't expecting it. I thought we'd get blown away, to be totally honest. So I'm really happy with that. They didn't even play a weak team. I thought surely they've rotated quite a lot here. Checked it, and yeah, it looked like a really strong team from them. So yeah, I don't know. Just a great performance, I guess. Hopefully we can do the same in the 2-legged semi-final. Then just now we have played Cheonan and won 5-1. Again, another very good, strong performance, which has kind of moved us into that top spot in the league, and we are good to go from here on out for the rest of the season. A third of the season left, as you can see, plus any further cup run we've got there. So yeah, all going well on the fixture front. The next thing to catch you up on quickly is the recruitment. So let's have a look at transfer history. And oh gosh, there's a lot of stuff, ins and outs. As you can see here, 34 players have come in and 28 players have left this season. We've had some enforced changes, I guess. The board have accepted offers for players that I didn't want to accept, which is always annoying in saves. Especially when you're actually making progress and the player, you'll see how well the player is doing. So yeah, we've lost a couple of big hitters. We nearly lost another one, but thankfully the window shut in time before the offers got big enough for the board to force the transfer. However, there is a flip side. We've brought in quite a lot of money, and we've ended up doing a lot of business because of those sales. So let's look at the ins first. A lot of these are just people I've brought in to chuck in the reserves, loan them out, get them some experience, get them boosted up, and then we'll sell them on. Ideally with sell-on clauses, etc., so we can just get that money rolling in to help us transform this team, especially if we can get promoted. Because in countries like this, where you need a lot of homegrown players, the prices of those top-end homegrown players just get so silly because you just need them. Everyone needs them. All the good teams need them in their squads to meet registration. You're competing with all the best teams in the country every time. So it's very difficult. You've got to get in there early if they're not at one of the bigger teams, or you've got to pay quite a lot if they are at one of the bigger teams. So we're going to need money to do anything with Busan here if we go up into the K-League 1. So this is the plan. We're getting in early, first season. Any spare change we've got, we've been putting into bringing in players with potential. Ideally, sort of 23 and under. They'll go in the reserves. We'll loan them out. Some of them have gone out on loan, as you'll see. Some of them will just keep progressing in the reserves, and we might be able to involve them in the cups too, because most of them are foreign. That's the issue here. We've got a tiny scouting team, so most of my transfer business has had to be done by manually scouting or using trials to check people out. We have had some players scouted, but yeah, the majority has been manual, so that's where we're at really. So, we won't spend ages dwelling on it, we'll quickly rattle through. So we've got Rasmus Bonde, 23-year-old defender, Swedish, decent value, 6 to 100k. Again, he'll go out on loan, we'll see what happens. 20-year-old Lee Kyung-jun, just another reserve keeper. Cathal O'Sullivan, 19-year-old Irish winger. Got decent potential, worth decent money. Again, these guys are mainly coming in on pretty low wages, so less than 1,000 for the most part, pounds per week. We've created a lot of budget room by getting rid of players that were not required or changing the transfer budget to wages. So yeah, there's a lot of flexibility going on here. Popovic has come in and then gone out on loan to MacArthur FC, so he's out on loan for the season. We'll assess him when he gets back, decide what to do with him. Ibrahim Adewale, another young winger, again, decent potential, low wages, makes absolute sense to bring him in. Yeon Ji-woon is a first teamer, so he's been brought in to be our bench centre back. Very good level, to be honest. He's probably our third best centre back, so he'll get plenty of minutes throughout now to the end of the season. Stelios Panagiotou is only 18 years old. He's gone out on loan to Agia Napa. Very good stats. He came in at 17 years old, already 3 caps for Cyprus. So again, probably a bit higher wages than a lot of the young guys we've brought in, but he is a full international now and he's out on loan, and his value will only go up. He's doing quite well. So again, lots of potential. Young Jun, I think he's in on loan. He's not particularly great, to be honest. He's only 2-star now, decent for this league. I brought him in as cover really because we were selling quite a lot of players, and I just needed to keep our Korean quota levels fulfilled really. So sadly for him, it's probably a wasted loan for him. He's not going to play much for the first team. He'll be in our reserves, picking up experience there, but we'll probably get somebody complaining that he's not playing enough at some point. Seok Ju-hong is our new backup striker. As you'll see why we needed a new backup striker shortly. Yeah, he's alright. He's apparently he's leading for League 2 according to our coaches, but the reality is he's probably just average for this kind of league, to be honest. Park Ji-won is a left winger that we brought in. Park Sung-soo on loan from Newcastle has been doing great, but I just wanted to have that extra competition, so I managed to pick up Park Ji-won. He was only 14.5k. He's rated leading for League 1, so we'll see how that plays out. I mean, stat-wise, he doesn't look it, does he? So decent attributes, dribbling, he's fast, decent composure, concentration. Work rate I always like on your wingers, so I mean he'll do a job. We'll see how he does. He's rated at the same level as Park Sung-soo, so we will see. Amara Juve, he seems your scouts find him wherever you are on FM26, and to be honest, when I saw that he was interested in coming, I had him in a previous save, and he's a decent player, to be honest. Not top level potential, but certainly very, very good. And certainly for the Korean leagues, well, it says he's already a star League 1 player, so we'll see how that goes. But for 95k, we've brought him in. as you can see, attributes are good. He's solid. He starts the game available to sign on a free with compensation. However, I didn't want to pay the sort of 300k compensation, so I had to wait until he was nearly out of contract to pick him up for 95k. So very happy with that. He's going to be our starting right winger for the rest of the season. He can play anywhere across the front line, cam, left wing, right wing, and up top as a false nine if we need him to. Good determination. It'd be cool to see how he progresses. In the previous save where I had him, I didn't actually play him. He was just out on loan as part of the youth team, so it'd be nice to actually use him and see how he gets on. 18 years old with 2 caps for Senegal already, so yeah, pretty happy with that. Decent wage. He's got a release clause if we don't get promoted, but I managed to take out any release clauses other than that. So I think we're good if we can get promoted. He won't get snatched off us, and we'll be safe from the vultures in the league above if we can get promoted. So yeah, very happy with that signing. Chai Kang Min, I brought in on loan just till the end of the season. There is an option to buy for 50k or so. He's probably going to be our starting right back for the rest of the season, but he can fill in at centre mid and slightly further up the pitch too if required. But we're a little bit weak at right back, so I brought him in. Obviously, the bonus is that he's Korean, so can help out with the registration rules, which we're struggling with to a certain extent. We also brought in Lee Sang-hyun, who is another cam, and again, he's a channel midfielder in the cam position, which is what we've been running for most of the first half of the season, with great success, to be honest. Again, this guy's in on loan with the option to buy for around 52,000, something like that. So, I mean, we may end up buying him, possibly. He's 28, so he's got sort of 3 or 4 years, probably a decent level left in him. We'll see how that goes. And we're back. My mic died, and I've just recorded another half an hour of footage going over stuff and had to redo it with audio. So here we are back again for the last signing that we made. It is Moez Ben Haj Ali. He's our new star midfielder. He's going to sit alongside Lerager in central defensive midfield. Going to be a box to box, so we'll have 2 box to boxes in that double pivot. He's rated leading for K-League 1, and actually in this instance I think he probably is a solid player for the league above, so yeah, really happy with this one. We had tried to get through a young Portuguese 22-year-old centre-back who was going to be coming in as our final foreign signing, but he got poached off us at the last minute by Nagasaki, so we ended up pivoting and we've brought in Moez as our final foreign player slot option. Tunisian international, just a very solid player. Hopefully he'll do a really good job for us and lock down that midfield alongside Lerager, who's had a great first half of the season. So that is all of the incomings. In terms of outgoings, as you can see, 28 in total, 1.3 million brought into the club, which is a lot for this division. And let's just whip through them as quickly as possible. Most of these, just to say from the outset, will have sell-on clauses. I've managed to include 50% future sale clauses on most of them, so not even just on the profit, so literally the whole sale. So a lot of these have a 40 or 50% future sale clause to us. So hopefully, worst case scenario, we can sell a bunch of clauses in the future. Best case scenario, a few of them make it to decent clubs in the future, and we'll get some hefty big chunks of money coming through into the club. So yeah, very happy with most of the business. There's one contentious one and a couple of ones that were kind of taken out of our hands, so let's rattle through them. Okay, so I'm pretty certain you guys saw up to the Kim Chan deal at the end of the first window. So the first real deal you won't have seen is the Tobias Norby one. One of our many young players we brought in to loan out and then potentially sell or make it to the first team later on in the save. He's gone out on loan to Ailsund in Norway. Then Yoon Ji-hun is another youth player. We've got some decent youth at the club. He's gone out on loan for the season, so we'll assess him when he gets back at the end of the year. Park Dae-han was our backup goalkeeper, who was not very happy at not playing very much, only the cup games, and a lot of clubs were sniffing around, putting some low offers in, so I've been trying really hard to manage the morale with this save because we're so low. on our manager stats, or attributes, whatever we want to call them now. I really want to keep the morale high. Obviously, it's the success you generally have to manage morale in FM to get anywhere. So we are trying our best to placate moves where possible, especially for fringe players, older players that might be retiring soon. Just trying to cut them out of the squad so we don't end up with loads of people angry that they can't move or for whatever reason. So Park was the first one of those to go out the door. 40k profit for us, so quite happy with that. Again, only played in the 2 cup games, so it's not a huge loss. It just meant I had to bring in another young goalkeeper just to fill a space in the squad. Not a massive issue, but yeah, a bit of money in the bank. Lee Kyung-jun went out on loan, one of said youth goalkeepers, till the end of the season. So we'll see how that goes. Kim Young-min was actually a signing from the first window who just wasn't really good enough, to be honest. Solid enough, but not. We're not playing with central midfielders. We are playing with DMs predominantly or cams. So having a central midfield specialist who doesn't really fit into either of the other two positions was probably a bad buy in the first place, to be honest. However, we managed to get a 500 quid profit out of the transfer, and we have also got a clause on that, so not too bad in the end, really. For a failed transfer, it's not the end of the world. Popovic, the new centre-back, Australian centre-back, has gone out on loan to MacArthur FC till the end of the season, so again, we'll monitor that and see how it goes. Lee Sung-Yu, our veteran goalkeeper in the reserves, was sold for a whopping £625, so we'll try not to spend it all at once. San Sung-woo, a very average left back, has left us for Pesita for a £7,775. And I think there's a 50% clause on that one. Yon Sung-min, another average central midfielder, again, was gone to Persic for 1.8k with a clause. Then the new Cypriot lad that we brought in, Stelios Panagiotou, has gone out on loan for the season. I think he'd be quite good, to be honest. Hopefully he has a good season out there in Napa. Probably the first unsuspected, controversial almost, sale we made was Choi Ji-yoon, who has had a good season for us. Let's have a quick look at his stats this season for us. He was having a good season, so 9 goals, 7 assists in 26 appearances altogether. Playing as an advanced playmaker, predominantly in the cam position. Also, occasionally dropping into the wing, coming in off the wings for us as well when we needed help out there. Another player, sadly, who he only had 1 year left on his contract. Attribute-wise, I wasn't entirely sure if he's going to be good enough for the league above us, so I was reluctant to renew his contract before the end of the season. Al Tawoon unsettled him. He wanted to go, so I accepted an offer slightly above his value with a 50% future fee clause. Don't imagine he'll be moving for a lot of money in the future, but it's there if he does. Worst case scenario, like we said, we can just sell these clauses next season or the season after and get in decent money or some money. The next one was another one that was kind of our hand forced. Choi Yi-hoon was our backup left back. Has actually been alright for us this season, dropping in and covering for Jamal Lewis. However, again, there was a bunch of clubs that were all sniffing around him. He's only got months left on his deal. Some of them were offering him contracts. He eventually agreed a deal with Salt Eland, and then we had to go through that whole bartering process for sell now. So I just gradually went down through the prices from whatever it was. I don't know, he was started off at like 65k or something, down in 5k increments, and eventually they bought him at 10k. So a bit of a shame. I always like to sell my players rather than let them go on free if possible. In this case, we didn't get a clause, so that's a little bit annoying. I was hoping I could sell him with a clause before that sort of thing happened, but there we go. Can't always get them right. The final two, we've got Modi Sai, who is our Cameroonian utility forward / striker. Plays all across the front line, predominantly a winger, I think, because of the pace, but decent finishing and stuff, so definitely can do a job up front. We brought him in early in the first transfer window. He's spent the first half of the season in the reserves, doing quite well. He's played a couple of cup matches. He's got a goal and assist for us. However, since the second transfer window opened and I was able to register him. He hasn't actually done great in the 3 or 4 appearances in the league that I've played him, so I've decided to loan him out. He's gone to Nagasaki. We'll see how he gets on. We paid 70k for him, which is a fairly hefty chunk of money for us at this point. However, I think there's quite a lot of potential there, and hopefully he'll do well in Japan, and we'll see how he's getting on when he gets back. We'll probably either loan him out again next season, or if any big offers come in, or comparably big offers come in, we can maybe sell him on with a clause next summer. He might be good enough for our team. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, he's gone out on loan. And the big controversial one is Baek Ga-On, our absolute star for the first half of this season. Let's have a look at how he was getting on with us. So we'd played 25 games in all competitions, 16 goals, 6 assists, 4 man of the matches. Just absolutely quality. Really, really, really good performances. Played in a few different roles. We'd had him as target forward, deep lying forward. He'd had a couple of games cutting in off the wings as well. Just very good for this level. Only 20 years old. I've got no doubt he'll make the South Korean main national team at some point. So it's an absolute gutter to lose him for what I think is actually quite comparably cheap. I don't really know why, because we've got a decent balance at the club. It's something around £6-7 million. We're totally fine for that sort of stuff. I don't know why the board thought 775k was too good to turn down, to be honest. I don't want to say it's glitched, because obviously if they think it's too good to turn down, then it's too good to turn down. But certainly from my perspective, I don't think that is the case. And after they had accepted that initial offer, it didn't matter what I did. I couldn't cancel that offer, even though I'd actually secured bids for more money than that. I managed to get 1.1 million with a 50% future clause agreed with another team, and I had probably 10 or 12 other teams that had all made offers bigger than that. But for some reason, that's the team he picked, and I couldn't cancel that offer. It was really frustrating. I remember on FM24, occasionally you could appeal when they accepted a bid on your behalf, but I couldn't find that anywhere on 26. So we've ended up losing our best player. Sadly, a South Korean homegrown player and a youth player, which is like a triple whammy of bad news, really. So we've lost him to Kobe, Vissel Kobe. Obviously, he's now worth 375k to 3.8 million. He's on considerable wages. It'd be interesting to see how he gets on. But that is a real shame. Real shame. In terms of where that leaves us with the squad, this is how we are currently looking. So it's a little bit all over the place at the minute, because we are probably going to introduce baptisms of fire for quite a few players here. We've brought in Choi Kang-min to come in as our main right back, and sharpness yellow, but we are probably going to chuck him straight in at the deep end. We have got Yang Ho-ik, who's been in and out of the team so far in the first half of the season. Been okay, but nothing incredible, and will probably be leaving at the end of the season. So Choi Kan-min will be going in there to start games. We've obviously just brought in Moes Ben Haj Ali, who's our new star CDM alongside Lerager. So yeah, sharpness orange for him too. I'm hoping this doesn't backfire. It's a big game, but I want to get these guys up to speed as quick as possible. It might come back to bite me on the arse, but we'll see how it goes. So Ali will be in too. Juve will be coming in on the right wing, and Lee Sang-hyun is the new cam that we've brought in to cover for the other cam that we have on loan. In other news, we've also got Lee Hyung-jun, our youth player, striker, plays as a poacher, 17 years old. He's our new hope in the strike department. Obviously, we've lost our main guy. He's done okay in some appearances. He's not on the same level. He probably won't ever get to the same level as Baek Ga-On. But certainly, as a strike option goes, he will hopefully see us through till the end of the season, get some games, improve a little bit. Probably end up being just a nice bench option for us. He's got decent stats. Obviously tiny, not very strong, can't jump, But finishing's good, composure's alright, determination's good, off the ball's good, got some decent pace and acceleration. So yeah, I think he'll chip in with some goals. He's had a couple of disallowed ones. I don't know if he's actually scored one. He's got an assist, which was a free kick, I believe. So yeah, decent option there. The rest of the team's fairly standard at the minute. As you can see, our main stalwarts at the top here. For goals, we've lost our main man, but Lerager somehow from DM has got 10 goals, 5 assists. Absolutely phenomenal. Park Sung-soo, on loan from Newcastle, has been chipping in nicely with lots of goal contributions, 15 in total. On the other wing, Choi Byung-wook has chipped in with 12, and then the rest of the team have chipped in with bits and bobs. Obviously, we've turned over a couple of high goal contributors in this recent window with Baek Ga-On and Choi Ji-yoon. Both of those guys have chipped in probably 40 goals combined, so those guys have gone too. So it's a bit of a mini rebuild mid-season, which I don't really like to do, particularly bringing in players that aren't fully up to speed condition-wise. But we'll just have to play it by ear for sure. And that's how we're going to roll. Jamal Lewis has a injury for a couple of weeks, and Kim Dae-woo is also out for a couple of weeks. He's the guy that's been playing in the cam role since we sold our advanced playmaker. He's doing well as a channel midfielder in that cam position, chipping in with 11 contributions from only 7 starts, so we can't really complain at that. And the final thing to look at is our youth candidates. We have a potential excellent intake. So we have apparently got 2 forwards who are considered to be fine prospects for an A rating, which, considering we've got great youth facilities, great training facilities, I'm hoping this will be decent. I'm hoping these guys will be decent, and maybe a decent fullback in the mix too. So we'll have to wait and see. I'm not sure. Does it tell us the date? It does tell us the date somewhere, doesn't it? Maybe it's on the club site thing. Ah, there we go. Cool. So we've got 51 days to the youth intake. Impressive overall youth rating. Let's just see how it goes. Hopefully, fingers crossed, a couple of little worldies in there to see us through. The other thing to note is Cho Wee-jae, our Korean centre-back, who actually is a Busan homegrown player too, has been wanted by everyone, and we're lucky that the transfer window shut when it did, because it was getting towards the same kind of issue we had with Baek Ga-On, where loads of clubs were bidding for him. The price of those bids was gradually creeping up. We're into the sort of 500-600k range, and I was starting to panic that our next young homegrown player was going to get snatched off us as well. So I'm glad that the window's shut. He was unhappy for a little bit, but he seems to be okay now. I told him to see the calibre of players we were going to bring in, and we brought in some decent options during the window, so he's back down on that. So that is good. His happiness is now back to perfect. We held off on him being sold. He's still wanted by all of the Japanese teams, although there was a much bigger list than that until recently. Hopefully, if we get promoted, I don't want to count our chickens, but if we get promoted, hopefully that's enough to keep him with us, because it would be very nice to keep a Busan lad with us in the top division. And yeah, well, he's one of our main Koreans now. We are struggling with the homegrown quota. Hopefully that will be much easier to cater for if we do get promoted, because the concentration of all those top level Koreans is much better in the K-League 1 than the 2. So fingers crossed we can cherry pick anyone that's left in the K-League 2, and there'll be just some decent options that'll be available to us to help us bridge that gap between the 2 divisions should we get promoted. Again, don't account any chickens. We've currently got the game with Anyang to play. We're still playing the same tactics as you would have seen previously. We're rolling out with some of the new signings, possibly irresponsibly, but we'll see how it goes. So let's get stuck into it, guys. Okay, so we are up against Anyang. It's top of the table clash, first versus second. This is a big one. If we can get this one over the line and stretch that gap to 4 points, it gives us that ability to lose a game and not lose top spot, which is always huge. certainly psychologically, you can just imagine it in real life, can't you? If you're top of the league and you lose a game, but you haven't actually lost your grip on that top spot, it's just such a huge thing. So we are going with the best team we can put out. However, not necessarily the fittest, most well-conditioned team we can put out. So hopefully that doesn't bite us on the arse. It's a strong team. I'm really looking forward to seeing the new guys play. We're doing well and on a good run. Let's keep that going. Let's just give everyone a high faith in you to get everyone revved up. Let's. Yeah, we want to attack with swagger and confidence. It is a blow, yeah. It's not a new system for us. I'm not sure you've been watching. Yeah, we're confident that's going to work. Go to the dugout. That's our lads. Juve on the wing too. It'd be nice to see how good he is. They've got some decent players. I remember we had a pretty tight first game of the season against them. We've got a decent advantage on goal difference. Let's try and extend that points gap. I'm excited. Let's just bring this down. I always turn it 1.5 should be fine. I always turn it back up when I'm playing the games in between videos. Not sure which sounds are which. Let's just roll it like this, guys. Hopefully we'll get a good performance out of our team. It will be fairly standard. Every time I do a video, we normally let in an early goal and have an absolute nightmare. But we are playing well at the minute. Granted, there's been a lot of changes in this window, so we'll have to wait and see. That's our young player, Lee Hyun-jun, the young poacher, 17 years old. His one assist so far has been from a free kick, so another decent ball into the area. Comes out, back into Juve. Oof. We've had a lot of success. I mean, I think that's just how FM26 is, to be honest, with our wingers just cutting in and lovely little balls into the striker or just popping it into the corners. Lovely little finishes into either corner. Okay, so we've got Choi Kang-min overlapping. Another corner for us. It's Lee Hyun-jun to take, the young lad. Haven't scored a lot of set pieces this season, to be perfectly honest. Less than a handful, I would suggest. Decent early pressure here, 5 minutes in. Positive mentality. If you didn't see the first video, please go back and watch it. But if you didn't, to fill you in, we are playing a tiki-taka, possession-based style of football, mainly because of the low physicals of a lot of our players. It's all about dominating the ball, exploiting spaces out wide, and also playing sort of directly through the middle of the pitch where possible to just split those lines and get us in on goal as quickly as possible. So we're quite penetrative when we get going, but we're quite happy to also be patient and work it into the box. Jif with the cross. Oof, Park Sun-soo coming in at the far post, over the bar. Another shot. We are playing high line, relatively high pressing, fairly narrow. There's some big gaps here, not entirely sure why. Decent, comfortable save for Koo Sang-min, who is another player who is wanted by half of the world. Our Korean veteran keeper, I think he's 34, but we've had bids from everyone. Lots of the Japanese clubs trying to pick up all our players. Along with Cho Wee-ji. So yeah, it's going to be one of those. Hopefully these guys bed in quickly. We've lost some very big players for us. Probably 2 of our top 4 or 5 players have gone in this last window. Not really intentionally, but we'll have to just see how it all pans out. They have a chance to counter. That looked offside, but there's no flag. Bruno Motta is in. And there's still no flag. That's a corner. So yeah, we're not looking quite on it just yet. This might be one where we have to tweak things. They're certainly committing bodies forward when they get the breaks. Park Sung-soo's won it back. He's been excellent this season. The young lad is in behind, running the channel. Cuts it back to Lerager, who bangs one. Oof. Lerager's been absolutely outstanding. From CDM to have like 15 goal contributions at this point in the season is just crazy. I think it's that box to box role is just. Oof. He's just up and down the pitch, getting involved at both ends. Dominant is the only word. Missing Jamal Lewis at left back here, and we've let in a goal. Lee J1. We definitely can't afford to lose this game. We'll go 2 points behind again. I should have known better here. Decided to film this game. I should have played this and filmed a different one. I also probably should not have played 4 players that aren't fully conditioned, sharpness-wise. But we'll see how it goes. I mean, we certainly had decent pressure early on this game, but that's probably more chances against us than I've seen in a long while here. Decent effort outside the foot there, just wide. Need a little bit more composure in front of goal here. We've given that away sloppily from a long ball. Kang Ji-hoon. So we're struggling in the left back position here. We are playing our backup left back with Jamal Lewis currently out injured, so that would probably be why we are struggling a little bit there. Uh-oh. Offside. Right, let's just have a quick look. See if we can get... I'm not sure what position instructions we've got on that right winger, but we need to clamp down on him. So let's get him shown onto weaker foot, get some pressing on him. Might as well snap him up a bit as well. Hopefully that'll help a little bit. If that doesn't work, I might get our left winger to track back and man mark him. Immediately there's a highlight doing what we don't want to be seeing. It's another sloppy effort from Anyang. This is where I miss shouts. On FM24 it'd be shouting at them, fire up, all that kind of stuff, trying to get us going here. Because we started well here, but we are conceding possession and opportunities to them now. And the problem with 26 is you kind of feel like I can't really do much here other than change things tactically. I've just got to lay a roll out. Park Sung-soo is breaking down the left. Lerager. Nah, come on guys. That's my one criticism, really. With I mean that's a total lie. I've got a lot more than one criticism, but a big criticism I have is even with patient build-up, lower tempo, short passing, work ball into box, and shoot less often, still so many shots from edge of the box that just go flying out the stadium. Like, it's crazy. And even on their individual instructions, trying to get them to shoot less, it's pretty insane that you need to do that much to try and curb the amount of shots. Which is our clear issue in this game so far, is we've had lots of shots, but none of them we've worked into the positions we're supposed to be working them into. And we've just, oh no, letting a horrible goal there. 2-0 down. I'm pretty certain this happened in the first video of the series as well. So it goes in behind, and Choi Kang-min has a very simple job, but instead of putting it out of play, boots it at their striker, and it creeps in past Koo Sang-min. So that's great, lads. Well done. Sadly, the new lads aren't making the impact we were hoping for here. Maybe it's the lack of sharpness. Maybe it was just a total mistake on my behalf. Why is that disallowed? What is happening here? Why is that disallowed? What's happened? Who's offside there? No, ref. What? How is that offside? It's a cutback. How is he offside from a cutback? Oh no, they're giving it for... No, that's horrible. Wow. Giving it for blocking the keeper's view, I think. Wow. That is unfortunate. We've just let in a horribly grim goal and then had one disallowed, not controversially, but certainly not ideally. And they're in again down that our left-hand side. If it's 3-0, we're in real trouble here. We ideally need a goal back before half time. Young lad, Lee Kyung-jun is on the move. He's done well. He's taken on two. Cut into the box. Doesn't have the finish though, and it's gone out for a throw-in, so not good at all. There seems to be a real big gap between our defence and midfield in this game. And I don't know if that's because I've switched to having two box-to-box DMs rather than one sitting one. Don't know if we need to change one of them to just a sitting DM. Maybe they're all getting caught up the field and we're getting transitioned. Maybe we'll look at swapping one of those back to a DM at half time. Okay, we're going down the right. We've got the ball with Choi Kan Min. Juve has the ball in the box. Min. Juve misses it. Hyun, come on. Oh no. Park's shot is saved. We have a corner. And that was a very good chance. XG wise, we're now ahead of them on XG, but we've obviously not converted a chance, whereas they're 2-0 up here. Lee Sang-hyun, we might have to increase a few settings here. We might have to get some tempo bumped up. Lerager's in the box. No. Damn it. Offside flag's up, I think. So, not quite the performance we were hoping for there. On a much better display in the second half. Let's make... I think it's hard not to say Lerager's the better box-to-box, really. Okay, let's make Benhaj Ali just a standard defensive midfielder. Or, actually, let's have him as a playmaker, because he's still going to impact us. He just doesn't leave that position. He stays back in that spot. Hopefully it will stop us getting countered quite so heavily. I think we leave everything else as it is. Some terrible performances. Left back's getting rinsed. Our best defender is getting rinsed. The attacking players, rating-wise, aren't doing too bad. I mean, we've created some opportunities, so let's just hope a bit of a kick up the arse. That tweak to get us. Yeah. Let's keep it as it is. We'll go attacking fairly early in this half if we can't get a goal back. Okay, Sung Soo has won the ball back, and we are dallying around in defence. Egan on the ball. Ouija board. Into Lee Sang-hyun. Out to Juve. Beats his man. Runs in field. Into the young lad up top. Turns well. He takes it too early. He could have kept going there, I think. Need to get some more shots on target here. I think now is probably the time we're going to have to go more attacking. What I might do is also push the wingers further upfield, out of possession, so we can get on the counter quicker. And oh gosh. Jong Song-jin is having a nightmare at left back. He's been relatively solid this season. I'm not sure why this is absolute car crash from him today. Let's get these guys up further. We could also have... I'm trying to not change too much. Sometimes it's... Now that you don't have shouts, I find sometimes you are changing too much. I'm trying not to do that in this game. I think on the balance of play, we've been equally as good as them. We've just been hit on the counter with a couple of sort of awkward goals. Hopefully. Come on, Juve. Burns past his man. He's in the box. Corner it is. Half an hour to go. Time's trickling away, even though we've been the better team here. We need a goal soon. Gonna have to speed up the passing. Slightly more direct. Higher tempo. We'll do that shortly. Park Sung-soo's found himself centrally. He's put it out wide to Juve on the right wing, who has lost possession. But Ali's got it back. Juve, can we cut one of these back, lads? The one time Juve cut it back, we scored, but it was offside. Right, we'll give it till 70 minutes, and then we're pushing a few of our instructions to attempt to make some things happen. And we'll probably make some changes too. Possibly go 3 at the back, actually. We haven't got a mega bench, but we've certainly got some players that can do some damage. We've also got some new signings who might be able to come on and do something. So this seems to have turned into a highlight for them here. Nope. Haj Ali has just trashed him. So we're approaching the 70, and I think, yeah, we'll give it this highlight and then make some changes. Into Park Sung-soo. Decent ball to Juve at the back post. It's going to come back in. Lerager's going to shoot, because he always does. Haj Ali, cleared. Good pressure again, but we're not creating those 6-yard box chances. Right, changes time. Okay, first change we're going to do is actually push the midfield up. Let's get Lerager on a midfield playmaker. Right, I don't always do this much stuff during the game, but I just happen to record all the games where, for some bizarre reason, we're getting battered, so I need to make lots of changes. Hang on, I've got 2 channel midfielders there. That seems absolutely stupid. Let's change him so he's running beyond. He has got decent enough stats for that. Let's look at our team instructions. We want it slightly quicker and more direct. Let's actually just go back to standard on that. Time wasting, not at all, thank you. Like to have both of those on when we're trying to open shit up. And I also tend to put the crossing on balanced when we're, and we'll open it up so we're not worried about going through the middle quite so much. Okay, here we go. We need a goal quick. Very bloody quick. Or we're surrendering our lead at the top of the table after maybe 1 game, 2 possibly. Which is an absolute travesty given how many weeks we've been chasing to get ahead. And there's, oh no. It's all gone wrong. Getting battered. Absolutely battered. Let's make some wholesale changes. We've got nothing to lose now. Not much. Let's get some of the new guys on. New left wingers coming on. Let's put Juve in behind there and bring on Wook. We've got Hoek, the usual right back, can come in and do a job there. I don't think we've got anyone to bring on for John Song Jin. Yeah. Not sure there's a lot of point chasing this now, to be honest. Who else have we got? There's not really a lot of great stuff we've got left on the bench, so let's just do that. We'll just probably just see this one out now, because I think that's game over, to be honest. I think the killer was that second goal, the sort of weird deflection-y one that just killed us off, really. I think if we were just 1-0, we might have managed to do this, but at 2, we've ended up chasing and got caught out. Just hope it doesn't derail the season. The problem with this league is there's only 1 automatic spot, the other 2 are playoffs, so whilst we've done well so far this season, we've lost some big players here. It's hard to underestimate just how much impact that could potentially have in a negative way if this doesn't seem to click for the new guys. Hopefully it's just a sharpness thing, Plus, we're also playing the best team who have been top of the league for most of this season, so there is that too. But this has been a poor performance, especially at home. 3-0. We've barely lost a game this season, never mind lost 3-0 or at home. So yeah, this is a bit of a weird one. Hopefully it's nothing to look more into than just a blip. I always have this theory when you reload the game, that's like one of my FM superstitions, that when you reload the game you always lose the first game back as well, so I should have known that this would happen. That's one of my longest held FM superstitions, the reload curse. Every time you can have won 40 games unbeaten before you go off and save, and then the first game back on is a defeat every single time. But yeah, I mean, Christ, I've not seen a red match rating this season, I don't think, for our team. We've got 2 in 1 game here. I will take off these knackered players in a second once this highlight's finished. Who is it? Probably Lerager, he's normally knackered. Get him off for Hyuk. Let's get June has picked up an injury, brilliant. Let's get Hong on for him, who is a target forward, I believe. Not that it particularly matters at this point, but we might as well conserve some energy. Don't want them all getting fatigued. But this is a very disappointing result here. I'm not entirely sure what the gap was behind us. Oh no, we've got another knock. So we'll check that in a moment. And then I think the next video I might record a little cup doubleheader for the John Boot games. I suspect we'll get absolutely annihilated, but I thought that would be the case against Seoul in the last game. So you never know, we might do okay, but I'll probably do a little doubleheader short video with just the 2 cup games. Or perhaps I'll just play the first one, and if we get absolutely wrecked, I won't bother recording the cup games, and we'll just come back for maybe towards the end of the season if there's a title fight going on or if there's an important couple of games to play. Juve is in there. Juve's got a debut goal, so that's a nice little consolation, I guess. Tricky one this game. I think we've been decent, just not good in the sort of 6-yard area. Lots of shots when we should have crossed or worked a chance. The one time we did work the cut back, it was disallowed for offside. That was a really key point in the match, if you think, as well. Definitely could have been a big change. Oh my god, we nearly got a second one. Oh my god. If we'd have got a second one there, the dream could have been on and we could have been back on. XG wise, it must have been doing alright this game, you know. We've had the chances. Which can be the frustration with this FM at times. 26, I mean. I kind of feel like you are the team that is conceding nonsense like we did with that little deflected thing. Or you're the team benefiting from it. It kind of is, you're always falling into one of those 2 modes this year, I feel. Particularly the wingers. The wingers are just so important. Almost totally separate from whichever role you're playing them in. They just dominate. Nice foul there, Yang Hoik. Using your experience to kill the counter. Yeah, 3-1. Pretty difficult result to take on the chin, but hopefully it's just a blip, like I said. Lots of new players, huge squad turnover, when to be honest I didn't really want to turn much over at all. Ideally I wouldn't have liked to lose any of those first teamers, but I was trying to keep morale in a decent position whilst oh no, the new boy's got a potential knee injury. Wow. This is not going how we would want it to. No subs left, so Juve can finish the last couple of minutes in midfield. The annoying thing as well is we had we had that horrendous injury to our best player for the first half of the season. Broken lower leg or whatever it was, still out for it. And let's just hope and pray that we haven't got another one there to one of our foreign stars. Oh my god, I'm not entirely sure we've managed that. We've let in 3 goals for a 0.91 xg. We had 2.23 xg ourselves, plus the disallowed goal and dominated possession. So yeah, the defence has let us down big time there. Cho EJ is normally very, very, very reliable. That's a real shocker from him. And John Sung-jin has been fairly stable at left back covering this season, so that's a real surprise. And the keeper as well, just a really disappointing game. Yeah, we should have won that. Let's see where that leaves us in the table then. What's the analysis? Yeah, better side doesn't always translate into... Yeah, let's try to stay positive here. Minor setback, lots of football left to be played. We have to do better for sure. No substitute for hard work. Okay, so let's have a butchers at this table then, guys. So after 25 games of a 39 game league season, we're currently sat second. We've dropped back down again, which is so annoying. I can't describe how annoying that is. We'll look at our fixtures in a sec and just see how long it had been since we lost as well. So we're 2 points behind Anyang again. Can we make that up? I don't know. We were on a really nice little winning run, so that's a real big loss. Luckily, we've got a cushion to third. Not that second or if we can get second or third, that's great. We'll get into the playoffs. I don't think it'll make a huge difference. You play teams from the league above to try and get promoted. They're trying to avoid get relegated, so I don't think that'll make a huge difference for us. What will make a huge difference is if we can get first. So that's got to be the aim now. We're in a strong position. We've got a strong squad. We've done good business. It might not be fully up to speed yet, but I feel like we could have won that last match just then anyway. So hopefully next time you see me, it will either be for a double header of the cup games. I'll probably record them anyway, and then we'll just I'll only bother doing a video of it if it's worth putting out. So if you don't see a cup game video, we've probably not done very well, and I'll just come back to you later in the season when we are challenging, hopefully, for the title or getting towards those playoff finishes, and we'll play all that out and see how that goes. So yeah, thank you very much, guys. Hope you're enjoying the Journeyman this year. Hope you're enjoying your own FM26 saves, and hopefully see you guys in the next one. Have a great weekend, and see you all soon.